All right, welcome back to Math Quest, everyone. All right, let's take a look here. We're going to be writing inequalities from reading graphs. So let's take a look at our first graph. We notice we have a solid line. Good, that's already a clue that this inequality is going to be less than or equal to or greater than and equal to. So that's very important. So remember, when you write your inequalities, they're going to be in the format y, oops, I need a pen. Here we go. Y equals mx plus b. It needs to be written in that format. The only difference is that we're not going to have an equal sign. We're going to have an inequality. So the things that are going to remain the same here, let's do a different color, is y, the x, and that's it. This plus, if it's a negative number here, then I'm going to leave it as a minus and that number and so forth. So it not necessarily remain plus. So let's start off by getting this value. This is our y-intercept. So I'm going to look at the graph and see where it crosses the y-axis. And I notice that it crosses at -4. So therefore, right here, I'm going to write -4. I could write plus -4, but I like to simply just write -4. So good. Now, I just need to find my slope, the value of m, slope. And as I look at my graph, from 4, it climbs up 2 over 1. So 2 over 1. Notice that in between is a half. So I don't want to count those halves. I'm just going to have to do more math in solving, simplifying. So I want to get those whole numbers. So it climbs up 2 and goes over 1, rises up 2, runs over 1, rise over 1. So if it's 2 over 1, that value is the same as 2. So now we have 2x minus 4. Now all I'm missing is my inequality. Well, if you look at the line here, we like to think of this area as the top half of the line. I know it's not really half, but the top part of the line. And this is the bottom part of the line. Since the bottom part of the line is the one that is shaded, this is going to be a less than symbol. So less than. So y is less than. And because it is a solid line, it's also going to be equal to. So y is less than or equal to 2x minus 4. Pretty simple, right? So we can test it out just by picking any point on here and plugging it in. Remember, you pick an ordered pair, any ordered pair. So let's pick 3, where else is it cross? 1. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Go over 3. I read that wrong. Go over 3 and go down to -2. So 3, -2. So let's plug that pair in. Since that pair is in this shaded region, if it makes my statement true, that proves that my statement is correct. So for x, we're going to plug in 3. So that will be 2 times 3 minus 4 less than or equal to my y value, which is -2. So this 2 times 3 is 6. 6 minus 4 is 2. So the statement here is reading -2 is less than or equal to 2. Is that statement true? Of course, -2 is less than 2. The statement is true, so my answer checks out. All right, let's take a look at this next one. So here, notice we have a graph that is going down. It's going down, so that means my slope is going to be negative. That's a good point. And also, it's a solid line, so it's going to be less than or equal to or greater than and equal to. So I already know those things. Now, here, as I begin to write my equation, y is going to be there. It's not going to move. And then I don't know my inequality yet. My slope is going to be next. Then I'm going to have my x. And then it's going to be whatever my intercept is. Right here, I can quickly see that the line is crossing between -4 and -2. So it's crossing at -3. So my y-intercept is -3. Now my slope, What is my slope? Well, I'm just going to pick 2 points and simplify instead of trying to read this. So I notice it's crossing at -3, and it also crosses at -6. -6 is my x value, -4 is my, -3 is my y value. So I'm going to write those two and simplify. I can always do that. So -3 over -6, and that's going to give me half. Now, don't think of this as dividing. Hey, but you divided a negative. That should give you a positive. Yes, I understand what you're saying, but I am just simplifying both of these negative units. And I notice that my slope is negative, so it has to be a negative value. In this case, it is -half, -1/2. Now, look at the graph. The bottom half is shaded, the bottom half. So it's less than. And because it's a solid line, or equal to. So add that line at the bottom. So y is less than or equal to -half x minus 3. That's my inequality. So I want to check my answer. I want to make sure that I'm right. So I'm going to look and pull any value out of here and plug them in for x and y. So let's take a look. You can pick anything, literally anything. So why don't we pick, let's see, 4. We can pick this -4. Oops. That's my y value, my -4. And for my x value, I can go ahead and pick that one. I can pick the one that's right on the line, because if it's right on the line, we already said that it was equal to. So that means it includes the ones that are right on the line. And right on the line here, I would have -2. So for my x value, -2. So let's plug those in. We have -4 less than or equal to -half times -2 minus 3. So -half times -2 will give me a +1 minus 3. 1 minus 3 equals -2. My symbol, the less than or equal to symbol, and then I have a -4 here. So the question is -4 less than or equal to -2? Yes, it is. It is less than. -4 is less than -2. That statement is true. So my answer checks out. Then my values are down here, and therefore making my inequality correct. So I hope that makes sense to you. Please continue to practice as you continue on your journey, on your math quiz journey. Goodbye.